Good morning. You're doing a morning edition of Super Stretch, so welcome. Let's get started. Go ahead and find your seat, right? Cross-legged, hands to knees. Go ahead and shut your eyes down for a minute. Let's just start to settle in. Just listening to the space around you. Observing all of the attendant noises. Hearing the sound of your own breath. And just releasing your attention from your surroundings and bringing it into the center of your body. Keeping the eyes closed. Just breathing and settling. Root into the sits bones, level off the pelvis. Straighten the spine, tuck the chin back but not down, and relax your shoulders. Relax your face, relax the space between your eyebrows. And breathe. Start to slow the breath down. Grab onto the breath. Begin to direct it down through the navel, through the ribs, through the chest. You want to let your collarbone spread without bringing your shoulders up at all. We're just going to constrict the back of the throat ever so softly so that we can really hear the breath. We're just going to bring the right hand up and using the right thumb to softly press the right nostril shut. Don't smash your nose, right? Just gently close the nostril. Splay the fingers of the right hand out like the rays of the sun. We're just going to breathe nice and slow through the left nostril only. And stay focused. Just see if you can get the breath to be a little bit deeper. Maybe there are spaces you're not finding to fill with breath. Really focus in on that. And when you're ready, at the top of the next inhale, you're just going to switch hands. Inhale right and continue. And one more in, one more out. And at the bottom of your exhale, release the left hand down. Inhaling and exhaling through both. And with the hands on the knees, begin to rotate your upper body in strong circles around your lower body. Now the spine is going to start to play here, right? Notice the shoulders are rolling, curling the back on the back swing, flexing the chest forward on the front swing. But the movement is rooted quite deep, down into the lower back and the pelvis. You should still be able to hear your breath. Let's reverse the rotation here. and rotate your way to center. Make sure you're perched on top of the sits bones. Twist in one direction, just crossing the front arm over the body. Grab onto that knee, lift the chest up. But whatever you do, do not pull the knee, right? Turn the chin with that back shoulder. And let's reverse that. I'm a little tight today, y'all. Rotating into center, drop the chin down to the chest, and taking your time, begin to rotate the head in circles. You never want to go too fast on the neck, right? So if you catch yourself just whipping around, really slow it down. Full inhale to get to the back, full exhale to get to the front. And with these types of neck rotations, you want to make sure that you aren't lifting your shoulders up. So there's a lot going on here. And the next time your chin reaches your chest, you'd like to reverse your roll. And we'll take it once more all the way around. And letting the chin drop to the chest. Lift the chest up into the chin and then bring the chin to neutral. Great. Soles of the feet come together. Pull them in a decent distance, but not so much that you find your knees flying up off of your mat. Interlace the fingers, tuck them underneath your toes. We're going to pull the toes up. And when I say pull, I really mean lean back, straightening out the arms. You're going to find that you get a little rotation in the knees and you let your hips open softly as opposed to forcing it. So your feet may come way up like mine. They may come up an inch or so, but hang off of the feet with the hands so you can bring some of that into the mid-back. Tuck the chin into the chest and breathe. Keep your shoulders nice and relaxed. Good. Go ahead and drop the feet down, lift the chin. We're going to release the hands out from underneath and just go around the toes, right? I'm kind of sandwiching. I'm going to push the toes together, press my hips forward. So I'm really pushing into that. Drop the elbows in towards the calves and fold again. Release the arms out if you can and go a little bit deeper, tucking your chin and rolling your brow down towards your hands. If you're nice and flexible and you feel like you've got the space, go ahead and stretch your arms out as long as you don't over-brace into the arms. You really want to get the length underneath your shoulder blades. The hands are extended, walk them back. If they're on the feet, step them lightly to the side. Press the body back and roll up, curling through the spine like a kitty cat. We're going to stretch the legs out now. Open up the knees, come into that straddle. So the straddle can be as wide as you need it to be, but you would like for the straddle not to be so wide that you feel like you've collapsed back, right? Nice lift. You're going to have a hard flex on the toe. Look at my dirty feet. Oh my God. Flex your feet nice and hard. Okay, I lost my train of thought being silly. Lean forward in the hip and just TP the fingers right on the floor, right? Once you get about here, you're going to know how much room you have, and this might be the sum total of your fold. Don't feel like you have to go as far as I do. We're just going to inchworm our hands forward. And the moment that we feel the pelvis kick back and the shoulders drop in or the chest drop in is when you know you've gone far enough, right? You'll get to a point where the arms are extended as far as they're going to be, and then you can lower the elbows down to get more depth. Don't rotate the toes in, right? And don't let them point out on you. We may do that another time because that feels lovely, but right now we're in flex. Tuck the chin into the collarbone, rotate the brow down towards the ground, and come into your deep straddle fold. Keep your breathing. Go ahead and use the hands. Press your body back. Roll, roll, roll all the way up. Good. Turn to one side. And notice I'm going to frame the leg with the hands. That front hand helps to give me twist. The hip that we're turning away from is actually the anchor. So you want to make sure that it stays down. Let's reverse that. So remember, the hip that you're turning away from is the one that's the anchor. Good, center space. Right foot, fold it in. Left foot, fold it back. Ooh, I need to get my feet done. So that back foot, I tend to have the top of my foot resting on the ground. The longer I've done this, I noticed that some people like to have their foot flat like that, and that doesn't work for me. So either one, figure out how you can keep your heel super close to your booty and still feel like you can settle down into where you're going, right? So we have the left foot tucked behind us, meaning we're going to turn to the left again and try and really keep both hips down as you rotate, rotate, rotate. We're looking for a little more depth in the twist than we just had with the leg straddled. And rotating to the other side. This time we're going to place both hands on the right side. And I've got my left hand on my right knee. That left hip that's sitting down, I want to lift. Right? I'm lifting the left hip over towards my right knee, which lets me really lift and express through the chest. And coming back to neutral, make sure we're anchored and rooted, right? We did a little twist in, so if you gotta move your booty, move your booty. And bring your hands behind your head, opening the elbows really wide. So left elbow is gonna come down towards the left heel as the right elbow goes up to the sky and the head turns towards that right elbow. Eyes to the ceiling. And neutral space, right? Drop the hands, release that left foot around to the front, tuck that right foot back behind you, right? So you're just gonna pull that left foot in. And again, now that you've got the left hip open, you're gonna find the right side's probably a little more challenging. Just give it a minute, right? Just give it a minute. Settle into the middle. Deep breaths. Okay, now we turn to the right, right? Keep both hips down. Deepen the twist more than we had in the straddle. Look behind you. And reversed, right? Now we go to the left. We're gonna pull the right hip up. Get the chest lifted. And settle the hip down. Bring the hands, let's get settled in, right? Bring the hands behind the head, open the elbows nice and wide. Now it's the right elbow that dips down and the head turns towards the raised left elbow, eyes to the sky. And coming to center. Good, okay. Up off those bum cheeks. Bring the hands right underneath, right? Just a short rounded cat-cow. Let's inhale, bring the belly down, chest and tail up. And exhale, round the spine. Inhaling, belly down. Exhaling, spine up. And we can just keep going. And right into neutral space. Tuck your toes. We're going to lift the hips up and jackknife back for a downward dog. Really sink the heels. All right, so we're going to look forward to the space between the hands. We're going to bring the right knee forward to the right wrist, coming to a pigeon. Notice I've angled the left foot forward, lengthen the back leg out, frame the front leg, and lift. The thing with a pigeon is that you would like to make sure your hip bones are square and pointing forward. If you've got that right butt cheek dangling from the floor by more than a couple inches, put something underneath it. If you tumble open, you collapse the whole pose, right? So hip bones forward, chest forward, chin up. It's folded, right? So you're just gonna hinge, pop those elbows down to the floor, flatten out your back, right? Try not to dump your head here just yet. Take a couple breaths in the primary fold, and then as you deepen, you can lower the head. Good. If we're going to come down further, send the elbows out to the sides and layer your hands one on top of the other. Create a pillow for your forehead. Press into the hands, bring the body up. Now you'll notice as I'm coming up, I'm shifting off to the side. So the thing I told you not to do in the beginning, you're gonna actually do now. I'm gonna tuck that foot in a little bit, and this back knee has bent. I know it's hard to see. I didn't realize how much black on black was gonna be going on today. So we're gonna fold the left leg and peel that foot right into the outside of the buttock, right? Don't dump it down into the buttock. Bring it to the outside of the buttock. And notice how I'm palming the top of my foot. So I'm actually creating a point on the toes. If you do that, it lets you roll your left shoulder back. And we can start to get into the chest here. Nice big breaths. I know it's a little uncomfortable. Shouldn't hurt, but it might not feel good. It's a really fine line, right? Usually, if you can breathe your way, you're just uncomfortable. And let's go ahead and release that. Rotate back into center space. Get yourself somewhat straightened out. You need to find your mat, right? And then jackknife back, downward dog. Make sure your hands and feet are on a level plane. Good, we're gonna switch the pigeon. You guys go ahead and bring your left knee up to your left wrist while I turn around so I don't end up in my back to you, right? Make sure that the right leg is nice and long. Step the hands back, press the body up. Good, and we wanna make sure again, hip bones forward, chest forward, shoulders down, chin up. You want to make sure you're getting into the upper thigh, psoas, lower abdomen. Ready? Fold it down, elbows to the ground. Remember, we start with the elbows so we can flatten out the back. And just let that left hip adjust into position. And when you're ready, you just open the elbows out, layer the hands, and drop the forehead right on the hands. Make sure you relax your shoulders. Press into the hands. Let's rise. Remember, we're going to roll the hip open. So we're sitting on the left buttock, tucking the left foot in. Peel that right foot in. Remember, we go over the top of the foot. Bring the heel towards the outer edge of the buttock, which lets you roll that right shoulder back. And release. Rotate forward. We're going to take it right back into that downward dog again. And I want you to curl the upper spine like a cat, shift and roll the body forward until we're heading towards a plank position. Push into the toes to come slightly off of plank position. Drop the hips and lift the chest. And here we are in a cobra pose. If that does not work out for you, come all the way down to the ground and then press up. You'll notice my feet are separated. It's because I got me a big old butt and some strong thighs. So more traditionally is to have the feet together, but if they're apart, don't stress yourself. Notice I'm not dropping in, you're up. And coming all the way down to your belly. Bend the knees. Make sure that your thighs are long and you don't have any of the flesh of the thighs crunched up. Grab onto the ankles. If the ankles are too far away, you can grab onto the shoelaces, right? I like to flex the feet, push the hip bones down into the ground, and then push your feet back. It pulls your chest up, nose forward, and breathe. Come on down. Release the feet. And this time, if you can, bring your thighs somewhat together. And if you can touch the toes, that's amazing. Hands come just around breast level, just to give yourself a lift up. You're going to take your left arm and feed it across the front of your body. Sweep the right arm over the left arm and extend it forward. And then all you're going to do is drop your chin down to the left shoulder. Focus your breath. Use your right hand to lift and give some space. Stretch the left arm out in front and sweep the right arm underneath you. One more time. And now we're just going to pin the right arm underneath the body, drop the chin onto the right shoulder, keep the left arm extended in front of you. Check your breath, nice and deep. Good, use the left hand, press the body up a little bit, sweep that right arm out. So we'll bring the thumbs beneath breast level, right around where the underwire sits, and with the fingers splayed nice and wide, shrug the shoulders back, anchor the hips down, and let's come to that cobra pose once again. You might find it's a little bit easier here. Let's lift the hips, right? Round up like a cat. Move the head a little bit. And work to neutral. Okay, so bringing the knees in, let's just cross the ankles, come to the seat, release the feet, slide the hips down, and onto the back we go. Stretch the arms out to a T shape, so they're coming straight out from the shoulders. Make sure that there's lots of space between the neck, the jaw, and the shoulder heads. And with the knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor, we're just going to drop the knees over to the right-hand side. You'd like to keep your left shoulder down and just relax here, turning the head away from the knees. And take the knees to the other side. right? Just rolling the knees to the left, making sure that right shoulder stays down as you rotate your head to the right, close the eyes. Nice big breaths. Rotate the knees into center. Let's draw the knees up into the chest and take a little body hug. Try and keep your feet just side by side. Let's not cross the toes. And rock softly from side to side. Just letting the floor roll over the sacroiliac joint and lower back. Neutral space, hang on to the right leg, extend the left leg all the way out. Let's let the heel hover about 1 inch from the ground. Not far. And switch. Right leg extends. Left leg in. And switch. And switch. Both knees in, one more time, rock it side to side. And coming into center, plant the feet, stretch the legs out, and drop the hands to the sides. Finding your final resting position. Close your eyes. And let the body drop all the way into the floor. We need to take a resting position after any type of movement positions, even the easier ones that we did today. That allows your nervous system to balance itself out and to understand the necessity of relaxation versus action. So give yourself the time. I'm going to sign off and let you rest as long as your body needs. Please do not just jump up and run away thinking that you do not need to rest. Rest. This is your permission. This is your directive that for at least the next 5 to 10 minutes, you do absolutely nothing but rest. Please believe that anything you need to do will wait. Absolutely. So close your eyes, be heavy, be soft, be at ease, and I will see you next time.